Hi everyone, welcome back to Through Alchemy. So today's reading is going to be all about what's going on within your spiritual awakening. We're going to find out what is taking place in your life, especially on a spiritual level. This reading is a special one because this is in collaboration with Kelsey from the Empress Tarot. I would personally vouch for her. I have taken personal readings from her and she's an amazing reader. Make sure to check out her collaboration video, which is going to be all about your psychic abilities and spiritual gifts. So for today's reading, like always, we have 3 piles from the left to right. Pause if you need a little longer, pick the one which calls your name the most. And now I'm going to begin with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the image of the locket, so I am noticing that there is something written behind the locket as the background. I'm hearing the word scripture. I don't know if you are Christian or you have been indulging a lot in religion at this point where you're finding strength and solitude within the Christ consciousness. And I'm also hearing global consciousness, which means that whatever you are feeling right now are not just your feelings. You are one of those light workers, healers, empaths, shamans, whatever you believe in, star seeds. In fact, I'm hearing you can use any word to define or put a label on the work that you're doing, but this is a lot based off global consciousness. You are one of those people who are over here to help and feel what a lot of people on the planet cannot feel. I think that you could be a major signs that I'm picking up is Taurus, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Leo. Doesn't have to be, but what I'm getting over here is something that you're going through at a very fast pace. It's almost like I'm getting that you can't catch a break. You almost feel like there have been many years in accumulation, maybe like a decade, 10 to 12 to 15 years, that you've just been going through the waves of healing. You just it's almost like you kind of feel very defeated. You kind of feel like you can't catch a break. You kind of feel like things don't usually go your way, or when will this get over? When will you get out of this funk? When will you stop feeling this way? And I think that the only way that you have some sort of faith is by looking up to an image of a god in your head. It's almost like what Spirit is telling me is that this may be limiting your ability to completely see who you are because you are dwelling too much into the image of a god. This is not at all to hurt anybody's sentiments who might be religious, but it is being referred to me that it's almost like religion might be containing you in a box right now. It limits your ability to attract things into your life. It limits your ability to create your life because you're almost leaving it up to God. Whatever God chooses for me, whatever God brings for me, whatever God makes decisions for me, it's almost like it's giving a little bit of your free will, or in fact I feel like it's empowering some sort of I'm getting the word laziness, lack for a better word, for you to truly see that you are the ultimate creator of your life. I think that this awakening might be really tough on you because you are someone that, I'm not going to say victim mentality, but you are someone that has accepted defeat to some extent. You are someone that is this phase more likely, you feel like this is not going to change and you should just stop it, because there are a lot of intensified spiritual phenomenons around you where I pick up on the word warfare very strongly. So I can understand why you would dwell in a religious, spiritual image of a god to come and save you, because you kind of feel, disempowered, or you feel succumbed to these forces around you, or how your physical reality is panning out. But I'm hearing that fear not. Whatever insight I'm giving you is not to tell you that, you are doing something wrong. I know that this is a path for you that will eventually help you create more channels in your life to empower yourself and realize that you are the creator of your own life. But I don't want you to take this as another self-improvement project or a task on your hand. This is a part of your journey where, if maybe you were meant to figure out more religious aspects of life, there's nothing wrong with it. But I hope you do recognize, and I'm hearing the word rectify very strongly, that a god or anything outside of you is not responsible for your life. It's almost like maybe you do believe in the will of God, and you do feel that this is all happening because God wants it, but a little bit of part of it is defeat, and maybe you refer to it as surrender, but it's also in this place where there's a very thin line between giving up and surrendering, and I think that you are finding your pathway in the middle. So I can understand that pile number one, this might be a very, very tedious, and I'm also hearing the word vicious cycle, where you find yourself feeling helpless and you often pray to God or something in the universe, but there's a lot about worshipping a deity, worshipping somebody to come and save you and rescue you from what you think may not be yours. But I'm hearing from Spirit that there is a plan, okay? That there is a plan for your life. The work that you have done will not go in vain, but I can only give you a little bit of insight into the fact, I'm getting the word fact, that you will not figure out what is meant for you. You will not figure out. So let's go on the path that is surrendering, because this doesn't have to be that difficult. This doesn't have to be like you're carrying so much weight and so much pressure to figure out why is this happening for me. If we just try to accept that life is like this, or these phases, I would say these phases of you are relieving these faces of you, it's almost like it'll become easier for you. Life at this point is revealing a lot of your shadow attributes in ways in which it's kind of really, really pulling you down to the anchor. Imagine yourself trying to stay afloat on water, and something is really pulling you down again and again. And you're trying to stay afloat, but it keeps pulling you down. And then you ask yourself, why can't I breathe? Why is there water going in my lungs? Why am I coughing, and why am I yelling out to God to save me, when God is telling you, go inside, hold your breath for a few minutes till it feels like you're dying, but go inside and try to release yourself from that anchor. So what you're really scared of, is what I'm hearing, is to face your shadow attribute. What you're really scared of is to take those 2 minutes that can feel deadly, that can feel closer to death, because you really confront maybe a little rougher part of yourself that is not so easy for you to look in the eye and accept. And I think that this comes from prejudice. I'm also hearing premonition. It's almost like something you know that is going to happen in the near future, and you also feel like if you don't look at it, you can save your life right now. Maybe you know that when you will ascend more in life, when you will confront these parts of you, you will lose a lot of people that are around you, because you know that these people only resonate with certain unhealed parts of you, a version of you that will not resonate. Because maybe in your life you have visited a lot of homes, is what I'm hearing, like a vagabond. You have visited a lot of homes, which I feel like they're being personified as a metaphor for people. You've visited a lot of people, but you never really stay there for long. And I think that this makes you really sad, that why the universe doesn't let you stay anywhere. And I think that the answer is that you're always looking for a physical home instead of developing an emotional security within yourself. So your ultimate awakening is somewhere where it's taking you closer to this, where life doesn't really let you settle. And I think that you are someone that thinks that your pain will heal once you find that home, once you find that one person or a couple of people that you can forever really build with. But this is your mission on earth. This is your mission to find and create that within yourself. And ultimately, when you will do that, you will find very, very secure people. But I would say that at this point in your journey, you are scared, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm seeing the image of a chameleon. You are very, very transformative. And I think that these phases of your life have made you a little bit oblivious to your strength and power of adaptability, how flexible you are. So I hope that this reading brings you clarity. Pile number one, I'm going to leave it here. If this was helpful, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, and comment down below on how well this resonated. And I'm going to see you guys in another one. Bye. Hello, pile number two. This is going to be a reading if you chose the image of the pearl aesthetics. So I pick up on a very vibrant and a gush of energy over here. It's almost like something is really telling you inside to let go of orthodox thinking, let go of patterns, let go of limiting beliefs. Somewhere where I see that you are someone that is quite fluid. You are someone that doesn't like to take shape of a specific container, if you will, for too long. It's almost like you will find a way to flow through it. You will find a way to form, to take a different form. It's almost like if you are water and I put you in a specific container, you don't want to take that shape for too long. Just because you're flexible, that doesn't mean that that is the shape that you want to take forever, is what I'm hearing. So I'm picking up on go with the flow of things. Go with the flow of things, meaning that maybe if you're feeling a lot of sad emotions, you're feeling the urge to cry, if you're feeling like, I don't know, repentance, even if that is the case, that you feel bad about something that you've done, or you've been very aggressive in the past, or you've made certain mistakes, or you feel like you want to confront a person that has been mean to you, if you've been angry. There's a person that maybe has been deceptive towards you, or people in the past have been deceptive towards you, or people have been disrespectful towards you. Even if you have been the one who has made the mistake, or if people or if you have cut somebody slack for making a mistake, but now you feel like you don't really agree with it. It's almost like there is an energy that is coming through you and telling you what is right or wrong, or what is kind of like acceptable but not in perfectionistic terminologies. It's almost like people make mistakes, or here I'm feeling like there is a rebuttal. The word that I'm getting is rebuttal, or a comeback that I'm getting over here. So maybe where you have accepted defeat, or a specific level of standard of friendship, or a relationship, or any sort of relationship for that matter, romantic or platonic. It seems a little bit more platonic. Maybe it could be related to siblings, parents, or friendships. Something about this is very nostalgic, so I would refer to this as something that existed in your past and now you're not allowing that in your current reality. Your current spiritual awakening is about upgrades. Your current spiritual awakening is about seeing that you actually are a fruitful and a very good human being, and where you have not really regarded yourself like that because you've still had the perceptions of other people rotating in your mind. It's almost like the insecurities that other people have projected onto you. It's almost like that spell. I'm getting return to sender. It doesn't have to be a spell, but it can just be in the sense that spirit is trying to tell me that, the internalized insecurities and voices of other people that were adopted by you in your childhood or while you were growing up, somehow they're breaking away. Their illusions are breaking in front of you, and you are someone who is saying a very big clear no to it. And this could be bringing out a lot of aggression towards a lot of people in your past, where you may have given them a little bit of leniency, or in fact a lot of leniency is what I am picking up. And at this point in your life, you're just like, no, I don't want to deal with your behavior, because I think that in today's date you are much more stronger, and this is bringing back a sense of worthiness within you, which is very important for you to feel, even if not vocalized, is what I'm hearing. This is something to be embodied. Even if you don't want to pick a fight, or even if you don't want to confront somebody, which I feel like would be healthy for you, but at this point this is all about you. This I don't feel is necessarily about confronting other people or telling them how you really feel, but to embody that energy. And I'm getting the word excrete it out of you, so it's almost like getting it out of you. This is a phase where there's a lot of energy. I almost see something that is stemming from your root chakra and it's coming upwards. So this is a very big lightning effect is what I'm picking up. Something that has really pushed you into this place of solitude, wanting to think about what I am and who I am. It's almost like maybe you are someone that really questions who you are and your self-worth majority of the time. And I think that this situation is making you reevaluate what you are and what you're not. And this also means to cut out all the bullshit that other people tell you, that this is who you are and this isn't what you're not. It's almost like redefining and becoming more secure in who you are, so that the next time somebody comes and tries to, build or instill any sort of self-doubt within you or projection within you, it doesn't really work. It kind of like is like a boomerang effect. It comes to you but it goes back to them. So what spirit is teaching you is more self-assurity during this time. So whatever has happened, I can assume it was pretty big. It was big enough, or it was a major. I would say it was big enough to make you question yourself. It was big enough to make you question who you really are and what you will accept in your life. I'm picking up on strong Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It's a fixed sign energy over here. So it almost makes me question whether you are at this place of feeling very stubborn. You don't want to talk to anyone about these things, and that's why I feel like spirit is asking you to not force yourself to be somebody that you're not wanting to be right now. So you don't have to try too hard, or you don't have to get persuaded by anybody else's opinion of how you want to be. This is the moment where you define who you want to be. Whether you want to talk about it, whether you don't want to talk about it, this is completely up to you and your convenience, because I feel like you are someone that is pretty clueless at this point in your life. You don't know what is the right move to make, and I feel like this is important for you to set that boundary and set that tone, whether I want to deal with this in a certain way that is given to me or not. You don't have to take unsolicited advice, and you don't have to be the bigger person per se over here. Pile number 2, I feel like the message is by grace through faith. That's what I'm picking up. And the most important word is to have faith over here, wherever you're being led. Your emotions are not wrong, and all your emotions from A, B, C to X, Y, Z tangent are very valid in this moment. Even if you betrayed someone or somebody else betrayed you, life is not black and white, and I hope you understand that. When it comes to another person also, it's not black and white. There are gray areas in life, and nobody is perfect. So if you're holding yourself up to a standard where it feels a little bit like perfectionist, or wanting to be the bigger person, or wanting to be a messiah in somebody's life, or wanting to be just the one that has the knowledge all the time, you don't have to be. Let other people also do things for you. You don't always have to be the bigger person. You don't always have to be the maturer one. If this reading so far makes any sort of sense to you, or gives you any comfort, brings you any comfort, you need to understand that you deserve people that are on your level. Not always on just your emotional capacity, but on your maturity level as well. And maybe you are a little bit frustrated at this point because you've been dealing with people that are not emotionally yoked as you are. And maybe this awakening comes with very, very different facets to it. It's not one-dimensional, it's multi-dimensional. And that's why I've been trying to tell you that life is not black and white. You will never find somebody that's just like you, and life will be boring if you found somebody just like you. But there's ranges of people, there's ranges of emotions that are involved over here, and you need to respect those ranges of emotions, not just when it comes to another person but yourself. So if you feel like you're getting the shorter end of stick, or you're feeling mediocre with the kind of relationship you've been offered, or just general state of life, it's completely fine. It just means that you have outgrown the place you used to be, and now you want a bigger pond, or a bigger river. You want a stream, and you want to flow in the ocean now. You don't want to be in a pond anymore, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? When somebody else outgrows the environment that they're in, you don't scold them. You tell them to move to a better environment. So when a flower doesn't bloom in a specific environment, you don't blame the flower. You change its environment. And I feel like this is what is happening to you. You might not be willing to accept other facets of the situation, but in its due time, these things will make peace with you. I think that you're not someone that is very okay with change, but this is okay. This is a part of the plan. There's no right or wrong decision in becoming the person you're meant to be. And I hope you understand that you are doing the best you can. Other people are doing the best that they can. But in this moment, I feel like it's highly advised to be a little selfish and think about what's right for you. Okay? So pile number 2, I'm going to leave your reading here. I really do hope that this was helpful. If it was, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more. Let me know down in the comments section, and I am going to see you guys in another one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the image of the shells, this is going to be your reading. So I see that you might be in a state of being very worrisome, being anxious, maybe to a larger extent of it, a little bit depressed, feeling a little bit ruthless, and acting a little coy to your own state of despair. I think what has taken place is that in the past few weeks, some sort of veil has unlifted. Something has made itself known that exists within you. It could be a wound that was from the past. I don't think that this was a childhood wound. I think this was something that you were carrying inside. And I think that you would know what this is, because I feel like this comes as a relationship trauma, somewhere where you were hurt by somebody else's actions and you may or may not have kept quiet about it, or you wouldn't really want to look at it, is what I'm picking up. And something has really illuminated in your life. And this could also be, I feel like this is a very big awakening. This could be related to feeling like I'm not enjoying what I used to do, something about my past or what I used to be. It's like something that we call like overnight change. Something within you really changed, because I'm picking up on the death energy, which is the Scorpio energy. You could be a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. You could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire signs. But what I'm getting over here is that it was time. I'm picking up from Spirit that this was time for you to really reinvent yourself. Something about this also gives me the word re-event. It's almost like some sort of recurrence, something that was revolving around you. Like I'm getting the word orbit. It's almost like something that used to keep coming back. It could be a pattern, it could be a habit, it could be a limiting belief, but you are at this point where you are strong enough to investigate the whole situation, especially about what is it inside you. Because it could be true that, in the past you didn't have the right tools, meaning the emotional intelligence. I'm really picking up to deal with this and unpack the feelings and the trauma that you were carrying inside. But what I feel over here is a little bit of struggle. It's a little bit of tug of war where I want to improve, but oh god, is it hard to look inside. So I feel like the advice over here is to take it at your own pace. Don't try to turn a blind eye to this. I know that you want to, but I'm picking up that this is something that you are slowly unpacking. If you keep it at the pace that you are, and a little bit of dedication that you are giving towards it, performing towards it, you will be able to conquer this. I think that you are taking the pressure of becoming this mighty person or this perfect person overnight, but this won't happen. I think the overnight reference only limits to what has changed within you. There's some sort of light bulb moment or a switch that has turned itself on, and you're no longer satisfied with who you used to be. I feel like whatever this was, it was bringing you stability for a time being, till the time you outgrew what was taking place. So maybe you've had your fair share of fun with it, or maybe you've had your fair share of indulgence in whatever this is. I feel like it is a pattern, and it used to keep coming back because you were not able to separate yourself from what had happened to you and making it your personality, because you had internalized what had happened to you. So even if it was not a relationship trauma or a wound, it could have just been something that resulted in as feeling limited, as feeling unworthy of better and bigger things in your life. And I feel like what has transpired over here could be after an end of a relationship or part of you. Something quite big has to have happened, is what I am feeling. I don't think that this was something that just naturally, just came into your life and one fine morning you just woke up and felt like, okay, I want to change this. I feel like something happened, something really broke your heart, or something really came back to you, and it made you realize and see things in different perspective. Because who you were before, maybe a year ago or a few months ago, could have not comprehended or seen this situation in such a perceptive manner than you can today. And I think that your current awakening is based off freeing yourself from the shackles of who you thought you should be. It's almost like you can find yourself in a box or a limited pattern. It's really based off mentality. What had happened to you, you had internalized that as your personality, and now this is beginning to really purge through you. You're in this phase where you're like, no longer I want to be defined by this. So it's almost like an upgrade. I would really say that there was strong Saturn in your life at this point, up till this point, and I feel like if you are under 30, this will come back again, where you will question where I am taking my life. But there's nothing to be scared about, because this happens with every person when they're reaching about the age of 28 to 30. I feel like if you are younger than that, this is something that is really shaping your life and your passionate endeavors. So something new really wants to take place in your life, something new that will be more career affiliated, but it will have a creative streak to it. It will bear more fruits to you. So where you have been unsatisfied with maybe your pay, your income, or wanting to expand, it is very related with this emotional wound, because this will unlock a part of you. It's almost like chakra aligning, and I feel like this is something that you have an awareness of. It's not completely given to you. I feel like it's quite hidden, because this is going to unveil again a part of you which you might find socially unacceptable at this point. It could be related to various factors, that the kind of group that you hang out with, or kind of people that you hang out with, or the family that you're born in, or something that you just don't relate with yourself doing it. But it's something that you will thoroughly enjoy, and this will come as a result of letting go of who you have been. So I feel like there's definitely a silver lining over here. You just have to wait until you find out and let that part of you come to the surface, and this will happen after this massive ego sublimation. So I say that if you are someone that has been scared of commitment, or building a deeper intimate relationship with people, whether it be romantic or platonic, I see that changing, because the wound that was limiting you from this was a strong wound of feeling unworthy, and this was all a mental chaotic energy is what I'm picking up. And this is very divinely guided for you, because it could be that you have ran away from this, but I see that the enlightenment that has taken place, the unveiling of it that has taken place, is so strong that it's almost like that quote that we say that once you are awake, you can't go back to sleep. So what you're seeing in self is something that you can't avoid. It's terribly painful, but I see that you have the tools and the strength to really conquer this, to unpack this. So don't belittle yourself for who you have been in the past. Those lessons were important. That phase of your life was important for you to experience maybe a darker aspect of yourself, or maybe a repetitive pattern with yourself was important for you to understand that you will not find a different result if you keep doing the same thing, right? There is no shortcut to healing. That's what I'm picking up. And this was important for you to understand that the right way might feel a little bit tedious, might feel, like it costs you a lot, but the result of it is priceless. And something about it is making you realize that you want to change. So this is ultimately your own decision. This is completely based off your own consent and your free will that you want to make this change. So don't belittle yourself for what it took for you to come to this place. Every person has their own journey of reaching to that inevitable point where they realize, I deserve better. So see it as a manner where, in your past you didn't feel like you deserved better, but this is the point where things really change for you. This is the point where you have arrived and you're like, I deserve better. This is the point where you see yourself for who you are, and not what other people have told you or how they have treated you, in the ways that their behavior you might have internalized as your own worthiness. But that perception is really taking a 360 and showing you that I deserve a lot better. You're putting your foot down in terms of the way you treat yourself. And I see this as being something that might be hurting you a lot, because there's all sorts of emotion. There might be guilt, there might be shame for the way you've treated yourself and allowed other people to treat you. But this will change. Don't ever shame yourself into becoming a better version of yourself. All parts of you, all versions of you deserve the same love and kindness that the best version of you deserves. Because even the best version of you will fumble, will fall down, will trip, because we don't really get there being perfect. We always find out different ways. So I really feel that if you are in this place where you are belittling yourself, or you find yourself being like, oh, only if I knew any better, you would only know better if you've already been through the journey of it, right? So I see this as changing for you. I see this as somewhere where you will come out of this being very, very victorious, out of this being very, very, like, I see like you being way more happier than you have been before, just because of the fact you decide that I deserve better. Okay, so pile number 3, this was your reading. I'm going to leave it here. I really hope that this was helpful. If it was, please do hit the like button, subscribe for more, let me know down in the comment section, and I am going to see you guys in another one. Bye bye.